Hey everyone, my name is Dante and welcome back to Story Hub, your hub for the best stories on Reddit. My sister has been in an abusive relationship for about 10 years now. Mental, physical, emotional, all of it. She had 2 kids from a previous relationship that he abused as well. She left him several times, each time with the love and support of our family. She went back to him about 2 years ago. I can't even begin to get into the disgusting things this man has said and done that I have witnessed. When she went back to him, I told her that I will always love and support her, but I cannot go back to spending time with him like everything is fine, attending family dinners, doing holidays, etc. Her 2 kids are older now and have both left the home due to this man's behavior. My family, with the exception of one cousin and my other sister, have accepted him back wholeheartedly. He is invited to every holiday and family gathering. I made it clear from the start that I will not be in any room that he is in. If he is present, I will not be. I was told I was dramatic, overreacting, and that I need to let it go. I chose not to ever see him again, both because I have a moral issue with spending time with an abuser and because I'm concerned for my safety. My family made it clear to me that they will not stop inviting him to family events and holidays, and that I will just have to deal with it. The worst part is that they still invite me every time, and when I say that I won't be there if he's there, they ask why. As if we haven't had a million conversations before about why I won't come. So that's been going on for about 2 years now. I obviously have been to very few gatherings in that time. I typically have a brief visit with my parents on the day before or after a holiday when I know he won't be there. My relationship with my parents has been strained because of this, but I'm usually able to steer the conversation away from this whole situation. For further context, I live about 6 hours away and usually am only home for 2-3 days at a time every few months due to my work schedule. Last night I got a call from my dad out of the blue. He asked me what my plans were for Christmas, and I told him that I would most likely be out to see him and my mom on Boxing Day morning. He said, verbatim, "Don't bother." I was caught off guard and asked him what he was talking about. He said that I don't prioritize them, that when I come down to visit I only see them for a few hours before leaving. He said they were sick of it and that I just shouldn't bother at all. At that moment I thought to myself, okay, you want to go there, let's go there. I told him that it's quite difficult for me to come out and visit them when abuser is there, as I've told them before I won't be there if he's present. He let out this really nasty laugh and said, "Oh, so it's our fault, is it?" I said it wasn't their fault, but that they know by inviting him I won't be coming, so it shouldn't come as a surprise to them that I'm not there. He went on a spiel about how he doesn't discriminate against anyone, that anyone is welcome in his home, etc. I said that's fine, but as long as he's one of the people you're welcoming in your home, I won't be there. He said that's a little dramatic, don't you think? And I just said no. He continued on to talk about everything that he and my mother have done for me, that I'm ungrateful, and that I don't care about them. I told him I didn't agree, that I am grateful, but that this has nothing to do with that. Eventually he got frustrated and ended the call. I burst into tears as soon as the call ended, but I feel super proud of myself for how I handled it. I kept my cool, talked in an even tone of voice, and didn't react to the little passive-aggressive digs he used. I feel like he called me expecting me to cry and apologize and kiss his ass like I would have a few years ago, and he ended the call as soon as he realized he wasn't getting his desired reaction. I think the great irony in this is that, from my dad's perspective, a man who abused his daughter is a welcome guest in his home. But an ungrateful child is where he draws the line. Update. So, long story short, my dad kind of randomly called me up 2 weeks ago to tell me not to bother coming to see him and my mom for Christmas because I apparently never spend any time with them. I explained to him that I don't see them on holidays, or much at all, because 1, I live 6 hours away and work a demanding full-time job, and 2, I refuse to be around my sister's extremely abusive husband who they invite to every family function. I tried explaining this. It went poorly, and I have not heard a word from my dad since that phone call. In the meantime, my mom has been texting me nearly every day since then, just wishing me a good day, saying I love you, or sending random Facebook posts. I've been responding, but not overly so, just thanks mom. I was speaking with my sister, the one who has my back, and she told me that she was speaking with our parents recently. She told me a few interesting things. Firstly, our parents believe that we, my sister and I, are ostracizing them by not spending time with them if the abuser is present. Secondly, my mom was apparently present for my dad's hurtful phone call to me, and did not know my dad was even upset until he pulled his phone out to call me. She told my sister she was shocked when he started saying what he did. BTW, my dad was not in the room when she said this. Finally, a few days ago our mom texted my sister and asked her if she would be joining me in coming to see her and my dad on Boxing Day. Now, this really confused me because, well, I was told not to bother coming, and no one has reached out to me to tell me otherwise since then. So now I'm really confused on how to deal with this situation. This is my first time really standing my ground with my parents because this is the first major issue we've had since I started putting down boundaries. I really thought one of them would have reached out to me by now, so I'm not sure what to do. On one hand, I don't want to go see them because they've made me feel horribly about myself and I think their behavior is unacceptable. On the other hand, I'm terrified that skipping seeing them entirely would cause World War III to erupt in my family. I am legitimately scared of their reaction. Above all, I want, at the very least, for my dad to acknowledge that it was not okay for him to say, do what he did. I would really appreciate some advice here. Should I call my dad? My mom? Would a text work better? What do I even say? I would love examples because I often struggle to articulate myself when I'm in the moment with them. Thanks in advance. The comments on my last post were so incredibly helpful and I appreciated all of them. Not an idiot. Since your dad is the one that told you not to bother, the invitation to visit on Boxing Day must come from him. And that should include a real apology about being an idiot and telling you to not bother. Until that happens, stick to your boundaries and make other plans. Always remember that your family is more concerned about an abuser's comfort than they are about yours. That would be a hell no in my book. Not an idiot. I say skip this entire holiday season. It will not cause World War III and there is no reason to jade over and over again to your mom or anyone else. I would also try to let go of your need to get validation from your dad. Not gonna happen. Waste of your time and effort. See them only when you want to and in good company. Don't otherwise. Now for the next story. I'm a female, 22, and have lived in rental homes all my life because my mom, who is 60, sold our house when I was younger since she left my then abusive father. In total, we have moved to over 10 different homes because my mom's line of work is commission-based, which means that her income is dependent on the amount of sales that she puts in her company. Sometimes we would feel like we are at the top of the world and there are times that we could barely hang on. My mom is very hardworking and dedicated. She used to be one of the top salespeople and would close $12,000 plus deals in a day. However, she didn't get to grow her money before, ACA investments etc., as she would pawn her assets secretly, leave most of her earnings in a bank because she was scared to lose savings, bad move cost inflation, etc. I never really understood the impact of this until now that I'm older. Her bad money habits also led to her draining most of her bank account because she lacks proper financial planning. I can't really blame her for this because she is a very good and doting mother. 24/7 mom and work. 0 to no work-life balance. That was her routine until my brother and I graduated college. On the other hand, my mother can also be very authoritative and she loves to pry in my personal life. She disagrees with my lifestyle, meddles in with my private relationships, and even comments on the little things which I find really annoying. Last year, she won the bidding for a foreclosed property. She spent over $36,000, same amount of the loan, on renovations and other filing work. She put my name as the owner of the house because she didn't want it to be conjugal as she is still married to my father on paper. She's been struggling to make ends meet ever since the pandemic. My older brother, male 30, also has the same line of work. He has a poor credit score, hates corporate jobs so settles for gig, healthcare, real estate independent agent jobs. This is an issue because he has no constant income that flows in. He's also in his 32nd, so I'm not sure whether I should believe him when he talks about the big plans he has in store. We also don't have a healthy relationship with each other. I've gone and seen LC for years until he came back to live again with us this year. We don't get any support from family because my mother has severed ties a long time ago, way before we were even born. So we really are all on our own now. Since I'm a viable candidate to take out a loan to pay off our debt from a family friend, my mom has requested me to apply for a loan on her behalf. She said that she'll be able to pay it off once her sales plans succeed, which I have no idea when it will even happen. I am very worried about taking out that loan. I just feel like it isn't my responsibility at all because it wasn't my choice to push through with the deal with no plan. The annual interest rate for the loan may even spike up to 25%. My worry is that I'm not too confident about taking out loans as I haven't ironed out my finances properly. I am still learning. I also have plans of moving out ever since I graduated college to go LC and see from my family. I know it's just going to improve my mental health even more once I do. I still love them and plan to support them even though I'll be away. What should I do? Not an idiot. My brother once asked me for a loan, though not that large. I asked if he was willing to sign a legal contract, come up with a payment plan for the repayment, and to go over his finances to see why he was unable to save up the money himself. Never heard about the loan again. Especially if it's family, you have to protect yourself. Get legal, financial advice, discuss what her plans are and what happens if they don't pan out. Are you willing and able to repay the loan yourself if it comes to that? Not an idiot. I don't want to be an idiot, but your mother and brother do not seem like reliable people who will actually pay off the debt. They seem like fantasists who are willing to bet everything they have on ideas that will never come to pass. They are an anchor and they will drag you down until you have nothing left. Don't do it unless you protect yourself legally. Even having your name on a house you can't afford is a bad idea. My parents were like this too and I was stuck on $30,000 in debt because I believed I had to do it. I owe them or it will all work out. It didn't and I was responsible for paying off the debt.